Welcome to Hands-on IT. This is video number 413. In the last video, I restricted permission for domain users, so only domain admins are able to join the computer object to the domain, and regular users are not able to do it now. But what if you have a situation when, let's say, your help desk team will have to be able to join computers to the domain? It is possible. I will cover step by step how to do it. I'm going to create a separate account called Helpdesk, and we will create a group. We modify group policy and set up object OU, organizational unit, delegate. It's actually not that complicated. Just follow along and let's get to it. So first, we're going to have to start the server. Hyper-V. No need to change checkpoint. We're going to pick up where we left off last time. So we had two accounts, regular user and admin user, and only admin user is able to join computer object to the domain because it belongs to domain administrator group. Regular user is not able to. We're going to test it one more time to confirm that's the case. Then I'm going to create an extra account called Helpdesk. So we will simulate the situation when you have Helpdesk person or Helpdesk team, and they have to be able to join computer objects to the domain. Let me log in as domain admin. Just want to tell you one thing. Creating computer objects in the domain is very similar to creating files in a folder. You have to be able to at least have create permission. If you want to edit, you're going to have to edit permission. So to give someone the ability to create files, new files in a folder, you have to give this person permission or make him a delegate. Okay, let's open Attribute and check what if the settings we made last time are they still there. So you right click on the domain and check the machine quota. Machine quota is set to 0, which means regular users can join 0 computers to the domain. Okay, so let's test it using regular user. This is the object organizational unit that holds computer objects. Whatever changes we're going to make on this specific object. So you can modify delegate on the entire domain, but believe me, it's better just to make changes on individual OUs. It's much safer that way. Too much permission is not good for anyone. Okay, let's switch to checkpoint, one of the earlier checkpoint, fresh Windows 11 install. And again, we're going to have to point DNS to 1.199, which is our domain controller /DNS server for nesium.com domain. Okay, now my VM is booting up. It should take me to out-of-the-box experience right after the fresh Windows 11 installation. Okay. Yeah, you're free to make whatever changes you want, but for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna skip any customization and personalization. I'm going straight to network configuration, and we're gonna go after DNS. Change the DNS from the one provided by my home ISP to the server, static IP of my domain controller. Go to manual, version 4, 192.168.1.199. Now my Windows 11 is pointing to the domain controller and the DNS server, and it's going to do the translation. So it should be the machine should be able to find the domain. Also, let's check if the machine already exists. If the account doesn't have permission to create computer objects, you may have two types of error messages. One can tell you the machine already exists. The other one will tell you if you've exceeded maximum number of allowed machine joined tasks. Okay, so this is my laptop B5, and it's a B5, which looks like the object is enabled, and it exists in my domain, which means it's active. It's probably from the previous exercise. Okay, so let's see if we can rejoin, not join a new machine. We can rejoin the same computer. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to join using the same name. It can create duplicate objects, but it can overwrite existing object in the domain. Okay, so I'm just typing in my domain name. It's going to ask you if DNS works fine. Get the pop-up. Let's use a regular user. Nope. The account uses, which means account exists. Okay. If you're an admin, you won't get this error message, but let's try to join under a different name. Let's see if we're going to get the same error message. So I'll just change the last digit from 5 to 4, and we're going to repeat the task. Yes, this account doesn't exist. Just want to mention, if you, like me, a lazy admin, there's no need to change the name and reboot the computer and try to join. You can do it in one task. Okay, let's see if the regular user is able to join under different name, which means create a new object. And it'll take a little bit of time. Nope, it tells you that I've exceeded maximum number of machines I'm allowed to join to the domain, which essentially means I'm a regular user. Because we put this limitation, I'm not able to join. Only the admin at this point is able to join client computers to the domain. Let's see if the admin is able to do it. Let's confirm. Maybe there's a deeper issue, and even admins are not able to. But anyways, just that's for you to find out. But the question is why admins are able to, and regular computers are not able to. Regular users are not able to. Let's find out what kind of permission are assigned to this organizational unit called computers. It's a default container inside my domain. So it's just to find out, yeah, it's holding those objects. To find out, I go to properties and security, and you can either look at it or you can click on advanced and let the system do the work. So domain admins group, which means anybody who belongs to this group has these permissions. Create all child objects, and they should be able to create computer objects with no problems. Let me go back and go to attribute. This is security. Go to advanced, and in advanced, I can check something called effective access. It will tell me specifically whether my account is able to create computer objects or not. So just type in users dash regular, make sure domain is selected, and then click on view effective access. Scroll down and look for create computer objects. Remember, it's just the folder and file example. Yep, it says this specific user, which is regular user, is not able to create, doesn't have permission to create computer objects. Let's try admin. You can tell right there. It's a lot more green than red. Okay, let's look for that specific attribute permission. Create computer objects is allowed. That's why the admin is able to make changes to this specific OU or container. I hope this is clear. All right, so let's create a new user. And let's see if this new user, maybe this new user, when I create it, will be able to um, join computers to the domain and have, by default, have permission granted to create computer objects. Let's find out. I'm going to just lazy, so I'm just going to copy from user regular. I'm just going to rename it, give it the login name, user principal name, whatever the password you want. Okay, so now we have the user called Helpdesk. Now, in order to give this account access to um, be able to delegate access to create objects inside computer OU, you're going to have to make some changes to group policy and change the delegate on that object. So to do that, you can assign individual users, or you can do in a better way. You can create a security group. Security global group is fine. And then you can control who can access it by adding or removing uh, account from that group. But that group will have to be added to group policy. We're going to go through those steps. It's not that complicated. Just remember, you create a group, add this group as a delegate, which means any member that's inside this group will automatically become a delegate. They can create a computer object. So, for example, you have a whole help desk IT department, and you have a help desk division. You want them to be able to join this stream, but you don't necessarily want to give them domain admin rights. Probably not. That's how you do it. Give a description. By the way, this is, well, just watch what happens. I inadvertently made a mistake, but that's okay. You'll see. We'll fix it later. The name is, that's supposed to be the name, not the description. That's okay. All right, so we have the account. We have the group. Let's add the account to this group, help desk. Now, yes, allow join computer to domain. Okay, now we have one member inside this group. So far we've created the group, the user, but nothing else. So that alone doesn't change anything. We're just going to have to do something else to give this group permission to make changes. But before we do anything, let's confirm, let's test it. If helpdesk user, a regular user, is able to join my Windows 11 machine to the domain. I like trying and testing even multiple times. First of all, I learn a lot this way, and second of all, it's better to do it than read about it. And I don't believe anyone. I just have to see it, make my own mistakes. This is how I learn. Okay, let's try to join. Let's join under new name to create a new object. Help desk. Fingers crossed. Come on, you can do it. Nope. That's good. That's the way it's supposed to be. So I just creating a regular user. That means my policy and changes I made in my last video, they still work. They work for existing users and newly created users. Okay, let's make some changes and give my help desk person permission to join computers to the domain. Go into group policy and we have a default domain policy, which was created when the domain was created. To access this domain, default domain policy, just right-click on it, on the policy itself, not on the domain, and you're going to edit. Be extremely careful when you mess with the default domain policy. Make sure you know what you're doing, because you can cripple your computer. You can render your Windows inaccessible, or it's not going to work at all. Okay, so you go into policies. You're not using preferences. Preferences is called registry tattooing. That's not something you want to do. It's very convenient, but stick to policies. Go into security. It's a computer part, because there's a user part and computer part. So we're going to be using computer part, which means the policy applies to the computer. It doesn't matter who logs into it. It applies to the machine. Click on local policies and then user right assignment. And as you can see, there's a fourth entry from the top called add workstation to domain. Again, this is similar to giving permission on a folder to let members of the group do something. So because we created the security group, oh, by the way, you'll see the mistake I made. But anyways, let's just add my group, allow. Okay. All right, what is that? It's supposed to be the name, not the description. No big deal. We can fix it. Okay. That looks kind of strange, but you'll see why. And another thing we can learn together. All right, let me remove it and do it correctly. But first, let me fix the group. So I'm going to the users, look for the group, right click on it. And under group name, it's supposed to be group name, not group description. Not a biggie. It took me a little bit to figure out what's going on, but okay. If you realize you made a mistake, just remove the group, fix whatever you have to fix, and then just add the group to make sure it works the way it's supposed to. All right, just pretty much replace group name, put a group name in there in this field. Just let me delete. Because I'm lazy, I'm just going to copy and paste. The name is the same. Okay, you have one member. Now everything should work fine. Yep, the name is correct. Sits in the same OU as my Helpdesk user. All right, all good now. Let's switch back to my policy. So as you can see, domain admins are already listed. That's why they can join the domain. And yes, at my group. Again, this group is the placeholder. Whoever you throw, it's like a bag. Whoever you throw into this bag, this group, will be automatically able to join. If you want to remove permission from the user to be able to join the computer to the domain, remove them from the group. Now, one thing about the policy, okay, just need the group policy update. It may take up to 90 minutes for the policy to be applied, so you have to be patient. That's unfortunately how group policy has been working. Okay, so I'm kind of forcing the system to push the policy to all domain controllers. Since I already have one domain controller, that should happen quickly. There's another way to do it. You can open CMD and type in GP update space / force. We'll do that. But before we do that, this is the second step. So first we have updated our group policy. Now we have to give delegate access to my group to be able to make any changes on the folder. So the policy is one step, and the folder delegate is something else. So I right click on the folder delegate. Okay, this is a custom. We have to use custom template, because if you go into the entire domain and make this one group delegate, give them delegate control to the entire domain to create objects, they can pretty much create objects anywhere. I advise against it. It is much safer to create multiple delegate requests. That way you have better control. Yes, this is easier. You click on this, everything is taken care of. Don't do it unless you know what you're doing. So right click on the computer, delegate control, add my group, and then let's mess with permission. So that's my group, which means any member inside this group will be subject of this change, this policy. Okay, so there's no join to domain template listed, so let's just create a custom one. And then only specific permissions, and then computer objects. So this will apply to computer objects. And then we want to be able to create in the selected folder, because we're applying to this computer, OU, it will apply only to this specific folder. And all you have to do is just select create all child objects, child, inside this folder. The rest is automatically selected. You're done. Now, as soon as the policy is applied and the delegate is in place, your helpdesk user should be able to join the computer to the domain. Now, I have to tell you, if you try again immediately as soon as you set that up and it doesn't work, it's most likely group policy. It's still trying to update. But let's run GP update. GP update by itself will only pull the latest changes. If you do GP update force, it will pretty much update everything. So use force. It's much safer that way. Meaning safer in a way that you're not going to miss any update. Well, of course, you don't have to do it. If you're able to wait, just wait. Okay, that's done. Now, before we test it, let's go back and check effective access. That's the same thing we checked initially at the beginning of this video. Okay, I already see my group listed, but let's find out if my helpdesk user is able to, has permission to create computer objects. So let's go to helpdesk and then click view effective access. Let's go down. Yes, but as you can see, it doesn't have the same permission as a domain administrator. That's basically what you want to do. Okay, let's try to join now. Create a new object, not an object that exists. Let's see what happens now. Get the pop-up, type in helpdesk, the password. Yeah, that takes time. Takes time because I'm running everything on my laptop. It worked. I was able to join. All right, don't believe me. Let's go and test it. Yes, I can see my object now. It's enabled. Okay, let's restart the machine. And log in using my help desk. So if you join computer to the domain, if you go for a job interview, maybe a question, when you join a computer using regular user to the domain, is this user automatically a local admin or not on the computer? Let's find out. If you join as admin account, domain admin account, because the group itself by default is a local it's in a local admin group on the client. So your domain admin account is also local admin on every machine joined to the same domain. But what about this account with delegation? Yes or no? Let's find out. Let's go to, first of all, let's find out if we are connected to the domain. This is the simplest test. If everything is okay, security channel is healthy, you're able to communicate with the domain controller without any problems, you should not get any pop-ups or prompts for credentials. If you see any pop-ups, something's wrong. All right, let's find out. We can echo logon server just to see which server this machine used for authentication. Yeah, that's the only one I have. That's good. That's the way it's supposed to be. All right, now let's check my local permission. Okay, the answer is no. Your help desk is not automatically a local admin on this machine. Just remember that. But let's see if we can disjoin this machine from the domain using helpdesk account. Maybe I can only create, but I cannot disjoin. Remember, disjoining is not deleting anything. Because this machine is not a local admin, I have to use another account that's a local admin to be able to get to pop up to change domain membership. Basically, at this point, it doesn't really matter if your account is able to join or disjoin. If you're not a local admin, you have to use another account to disjoin. Okay, so this disjoint, this is pretty much all you have to do. And if the person who is currently assigned as a delegate to be able to join machines to the domain leaves the organization or for some reason is no longer supposed to have these permissions, to undo delegate access, just remove this user from the group, rerun um, policy, group policy, and this person should not be able to join anymore. Okay, I'll just remove from the group. But you also, by removing from the group, you're modifying delegate on OU, computers, organizational unit. Yeah, by clicking delegation, right clicking and click delegate control, it doesn't tell you who has it. It doesn't work like that. It allows you to add someone. Okay, here's my group. So this is how you can tell. If I remove my group from this delegate, let's just undo this whole process of delegation. It's a tedious process, creates extra work, but it's very safe. Okay, so I just removed my uh, group, and let's see if my helpdesk permission changed. So if computer object permission is still there, or it has been removed. It's been removed. That's basically all we want. So helpdesk account will not be able to join any computers to the domain right now. It's a regular account, and because of our policy changes, um, it won't be able to join. Now let's go back to the policy part in my domain policy, and then just completely remove this group. Let's say you want to, at some point, you want to just clean up, and you no longer need people to join computers to the domain because you, let's say, for example, you're joining them to Azure AD or Entra ID right now. Okay, just remove the group and run gp update space /force, and then just wait a little bit, and that's it. If you have multiple domain controllers, replication will take place, and it will replicate this change. This will kind of force the change to be replicated. That's about it. See you at the next video. please remember to subscribe.